that? Hi! Hello! Mabuhay! Hello! We're with Christine, Jed, Maxi, and me!
We're finally here.
Checked in at Holiday Inn Rotorua! Because we have NZIQS Conference tomorrow. So, we drove from Auckland to here. Almost 4 hours drive. Here's our room.
So tomorrow,
Time to rest. Because tomorrow we have long day.
what's the time? 11 p.m.
We have to wake up early tomorrow. Because what's assembly time?
Tomorrow,
Assembly
we need to
time
wake
is
up before 8 a.m. Yeah, we should be
well,
late.
assembly time is 8. So we have to wake up 6. So, time to rest. Bye-bye. Good night.
Good night.
Hi, good morning again. So it's our first day, first morning sunrise in Rotorua. I'm still with Tin. We're heading now to our NZIQS conference. So here's where we checked in. So now it's a 7-minute walk to the hotel where the conference being held.
Yeah, we just had our breakfast.
Yep, just had our breakfast there.
And we're running late, by the way.
Late as always. Because we want a grand entrance when we
Yeah, that's our signature.
when we arrive. Okay, see you later again. Let's go.
Ako na kalsada. So ayan, nakarating na kami. Touchdown. Touchdown conference.
After 7 minutes mo. Yeah, the Distinction Hotel.
Hindi automatic. Itulak.
Ikot daw ka siya. So this is the hotel. Good. Sure, thank you. Arrow sign.
Ay, ako pag late.
Follow the arrow sign. Here we go. And there are all the QSS. New Zealand QSS.
If you don't know anything about it, like myself. And he's going to cover off some things around this topic, New Zealand, and an inflection point. Are we up for the opportunity?
Absolutely no time.
Swinging from the hips there, you know, the gun was loaded and we got all of it today. Big round of applause for Cameron.
Creating laneways for which Melbourne is renowned. These opportunities don't come along too often in New Zealand. Firstly, to find a client willing to invest in such a design aspiration.
It started off with a little bit of, is this too big for us? But then when we got the team together and says, well, this is something that we all come to get to in our careers, we're going to tackle it.
Absolute no doubt that this project set out to be world class right from the outset. From a design perspective, what you set out to do is create these moments that people sort of stop and go, wow, that's incredible. To achieve that, you need the best design team, and then you also need the best people to be able to deliver the type of product that we want to deliver. That effectively has no structure. The ground floor entry to the tower is truly a remarkable space.
Woods Glass was engaged on the Commercial Bay project for design, engineering and testing in 2016 and began installation works on the podium in February 2018. Works at the Custom Street West lobby entrance to the tower commenced in January 2020.
So Commercial Bay came across our desk via our parent company, Thermosash Commercial, in 2016. Conceptually, it seemed pretty outrageous. I want to put a 5 metre long stainless steel rafter inside a 12.5 metre high glass bin to support the entire weight of the imposed loads of the street canopy. No other structure. BIM was used by our bid team initially, all of whom are still with us, so they must have got the price right. It was a great tool to understand the scope. However, at the time of tender, the design was quite undeveloped for the street lobby facade. We had scoping documents, 2 BOQs provided by third parties, I believe RLB and QSCO, but at the time we were pricing an unproven design. The design risk here was significant. Although a very exciting project, part of you is certainly looking forwards to the plethora of downstream potential problems with trying to deliver something this complex in a very challenging environment. We were dealing with levels of complexity not seen before in the facade industry in New Zealand. Not just New Zealand, but the world. After 8 weeks of hard graft by our tender team, we submitted on 1st of July 2015. We were pretty excited to learn through an extensive due diligence program by the client and Fletcher Construction. We fought off a number of international bids to secure what was at the time the largest contract in our group's 47-year history. Our in-house design and engineering team did an amazing job bringing the designers' concepts to life. As we tend to do in New Zealand, the design risk gets conduited down from the architects through many consultants, the main contractor, and ultimately sits with the subcontractor. The commercial implications were significant should the design fail and we not deliver. The cost of this level of design risk should not be underestimated. How do you quantify design risk? You essentially can't. There are so many variables. What we do price is to provide specifically designed, sustainable solutions that stand the test of time.
Almost the whole engineering team were out here to witness testing, which puts a bit of pressure on myself to make sure that everything goes on time. We had one shot at getting the test right and understanding that the design was going to work.
When we tested the structure in the booth, we had to overcome the issues of actually taking a structure that we were able to build out in the fresh air and the open outside in our test booth to something that had to be installed within the constraints of site. But the problem is with glass, it's a brittle material, so when it fails catastrophically. We counteract that by building up layers of redundancy and factors of safety within the various layers of the glass that we add to the structure. But there's always that worry when you see the 2,000 kilo concrete block that you're about to hang off of a 5 metre cantilevering beam. There's always that trepidation that have we covered every base and before every eventuality.
This is sort of a once-art in this type of work. I mean, anywhere in the world, not just in New Zealand. So if we didn't do this type of work, we would just be average, and we don't accept average.
At this point, and everyone has played their part in the jigsaw. Stretch in the operation, really. So there was certainly some sleepless weeks leading up to the installation starting. You know, as the day evolved, luckily enough things went really smoothly. Basically, setting the project out millimetre perfect, we were able to ensure
understanding is that this has never been done before anywhere in the world, and so to have a group of businesses that are so keen to support the design aspiration and so keen to deliver on that, we're really lucky to have Floyd's Glass who are able to take on this project and build a glass lobby with no structure and create something that is, you know, incredible and really does reflect the quality of the building.
So I guess what's really pleasing is the resultant execution has been so close to our original design vision. The simplicity that you see here is the result of countless hours of technical work by a large team of people. I think the building is of an international quality that Auckland hasn't really seen before. I think this lobby is an example of that. It's an achievement for everyone that's involved in the project to construct a project such as this. It's fantastic.
I have always had a bit of a saying, you know, glass is the best known building product to mankind.
Would be in a lot, and we also have a lower embodied energy in the manufacture of timber. It's a lot less energy intensive than either manufacturing cement or steel for buildings. So on a global scale, forests remove about 0.5 to 1 gigaton of CO2 per annum from building products. Wood versus brick, concrete and steel. Now the wood is a light blue line on this radar report, and you can see that wood is associated with warmth, health, uplifting, versatile, practical, words like that, whereas steel and concrete are very much cold and harsh on the other side of the spectrum. Another way to look at timber, and I quite like this one, this is affordable and clean energy. And timber construction, you know, when would you use timber for your buildings? So in poor ground conditions, liquefiable ground conditions like Christchurch, where you have low bearing pressures, sloping ground sites, so you don't have to remove material and reinforce it. Seismic regions, because you've got out of timber. Timber beams generally beat steel from a cost point of view if you're using them in a house. Timberline shear walls are a very economical way of bracing your structures. Multi-residential units up to 4 stories or even higher if you're going to use mass timber such as CLT.
Than just lowest price mentality, but more about when it is appropriate to use. I arrived in Christchurch in 2012 to be near projects that would be part of the rebuild. This story, however, starts in the UK, where my knowledge of mass timber was gained as head of estimating of a leading UK CLT design and supply company to your normal projects. We want you to start taking into account things that could potentially reduce costs, such as reduced program or reduced foundations, reduced insulation. The Clearwater Apartments in Christchurch. Redstay can perhaps tell us a bit more about that, and I see they have some costing information on their table there, very useful. Have the conversations, learn about the issues, learn about the fire. Structural timber has fire-rated properties, and that can withstand our
lapping glazing diagrid with the timber diagrid. We initially looked at just a single triangular entry. The fritting is on the glass to reduce the solar gain. It's a double glazed and double facade system as well, so it's highly high performance facade system. So that's where we sort of landed at a point, but then there were cost pressures. And so
Draconian. So then we come to dispute resolution, and I say here, you don't want to go here, it is a dark and expensive place to hang out. Any of you who have been involved in disputes and litigation, certainly in modern times, will understand what I'm talking about. Lawyers don't come cheap. Adjudicators don't come cheap. Arbitrators don't come cheap. But what you all overlook is the time and the effort and the cost to you personally and your businesses while you're doing this as well.
At Bunkenberg, Henry taught generations of quantity surveyors, including some of you here today. The Bunkenberg Trust continues Henry's work in quantity surveying education by sponsoring student awards.
This public list of approved engineers who are appointed through an evaluation process and provided with support to succeed. Its function is to general sort of feedback from the industry that the lack of independence is it's almost like hydrogen on a periodic table. You know, it's probably the #1 issue out on its own.
Primarily on there to help the industry, but also representing the vertical leaders group. So again, if you don't know who the vertical leaders group is, it's anyone who is a main contractor can join the group. So I know there's a process of, I suppose, crawl, walk, and then run. The panel will also start to develop resources and training to support. We'll never have to give Kevin a call. I wish. But what it will do is...
Hello!
So we're here in Puia.
The happiest part of the day. So we're here now at Puia for the conference dinner. It's actually there. Everyone's there, but it's still dark, so
we're about to go there now to eat our dinner.
So we just have to end the vlog first so we can have and party inside.
Yeah. So we're gonna find out what's our dinner.
So again, thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Till our next video. Please don't forget to click like and subscribe. Bye! We found the spot with a good light. So while everyone's waiting here, still part of the NZIQS Conference. Like I said, it's the best part of the day because we're going to have dinner, buffet dinner. Finally, we finished our day 1. So tomorrow we're going to have the second day, second half of the conference.
It's really cold out here.
Yes, cold because it's winter here in New Zealand. We're in Rotorua, mid-part of the North Island of New Zealand.
Here there's a lot of sulfur. It's like we're inside the crater of the volcano.
Currently it's 2 degrees, I guess. So everyone is chilling cold and waiting to have dinner. The dinner will start exactly 6 p.m. I think the time now is 5 minutes before 6, before they open the gate. So again, bye again. Ciao.
To start off the evening, we are going to have a Puia welcome. It's important for us, the people of the land here, to welcome you all into Te Puia. We have a chief tonight. His name is Sam. Please take a photo of Sam because if something goes wrong, we will eat Sam. I'd rather go to McDonald's. I've seen Sam, I'd rather go to McDonald's. This is the only part of the night where we ask that you do pay respect. Folks, you can take photographs, you can film the puhi, but we do ask that you remain silent. We're going to go through into what we call the heketanga, and virtually translates from the heavens to us down here on earth. We're going to go in a horseshoe. Our group are then going to come out and then going to challenge Sam. He's then going to pick up a gift. Then he will move back. They will then say a speech welcoming you here. They will sing a song. And then our man here, Vince, is going to respond on behalf of all of you. Then you are all going to sing a song. hia kia mātau te ki te tāne. I ho mai nei hei tohu mata o na maturi te rangi tātai tia rāti whai ki rungara. Kia matariki ki au tahi ki a takurua ki a puruanga. Ki ngā vetu takuro te rangi. Ringi hi ai te te kutei kanu i o te rangi kāngaro ki rungara. Ti hei Māori ora. Kia mihi a ke, kia mihi a ngā mihi ki runga ki raro ki roto ki waho ki ngā matau te wāhaere.